deep. His second effort works. Tiger McDonald can't get there in time, though, and North York starts a breakout. They'll play it right up through the middle. Matthew Galley, former Aurora Tiger, acquired in October by these North York Rangers. He's hit behind the net. And Hudgen comes away with a loose puck. Maybe a 3-on-2 setting up here with his line mates at the blue line, nearly offside. He goes straight to Robert Clark. And he's, rolls under the goal line, and it's stopped by a diving defenseman. Sardellis thinks it's in on the bench, but the play continues.
Boy, I don't know. I think some of that puck crossed the line, Alex.
Again, there's no replay, so the referees might ask the linesman at the next stoppage. North York, meanwhile, into the Panthers zone. Heber up ahead to Robert Clark. DeMeyer hard in after it. Galley's there for North York. He's stripped of the puck by Hudgen. But again, he loses it before Tiger McDonald runs his man, Ryan Hunt, into the glass. So that was Austin Veliki actually off the bench. He came flying over there, coming onto the ice for McDonald.
Veliki crossing the blue line like a dump truck. How about Ryan Hunt? Played a bit of that physical game tonight, but he's been on the receiving end more often than not, I'd say.
Kenzie Heber is going to talk to the official and see if he can't ask his other officials for their opinion. The referee was in a pretty good spot for that one. He was down below the goal line where he should be, and he can see it if it goes past the line on a play like that, but
and that's tough too. It's not like it was
I don't think the line's
dead on the play.
No.
At this point, if you happen to call it a goal, all of a sudden you're adding time.
And I don't think the linesman had any better view of it. The nearest one would have been out at the blue line.
I think maybe if that puck is frozen, play stops, there's a chance, but more than a minute in the books after that, saying, well, let's just get on with the game, and here's a penalty.
Yeah, delayed penalty coming up here. And I think it's against Pickering, judging by the possession at the end. And Veliki wants a piece of a North York Ranger who got an extra shot in him after the whistle. Veliki's going for the initial call, and now North York is going to get an even-up call for that extra shot of Veliki that raised his ire.
Well, Veliki barely fitting under the underhang from the press box there, and maybe looking at Jordan Carter in the clubhouse there as he came onto the ice. We mentioned it on that start of that shift with a full head of steam, and it's released there now with what's probably going to be a 10-minute misconduct offsetting.
Louis Kiriakou is the North York Ranger in the box. These will be offsetting minors or offsetting misconducts. We'll see. Maybe both. Depends how much the referees want them off the ice here. Veliki certainly has been looking for trouble. Davis Kouksis wins it with his skate back to Kyle Gentles, and then shot down the ice by Scarelli.
Looks like the two of them are either discussing their dinner plans after the game or they're ready to go at it still.
All the boxes aren't very far apart here at the Pickering Rec Complex. Veliki's looking very animated over there as a linesman currently stands between them to learn what they're saying. That's when the players switch languages. They have that talent. You have to wonder about some of the officials in the NHL, even where you have so many variants in languages. Players can usually yell at each other in English on the ice regardless of nationality, but they can switch it if they want to hide it. You'll see it from time to time. Swedes, Russians, Czechs.
Well, it's not like the English-speaking guys don't learn some of the other languages too, at least enough to get a certain style of message across on the ice.
Well, French is always the interesting one. No one knows who knows French. There's quite a few English-sounding Canadians that know French enough to understand, and some French-Canadian players will get a few extra words in and not realize that. And that can happen at the junior level. That's probably where it's most common, actually, here in Ontario, is where you'll see a team from out east, like a Kingston, or even from the CCHL.
The linesman actually reporting over to the referee there in the corner on the happenings between the bench. So, I don't know, maybe Veliki knows the hot spots here in Pickering to catch dinner after the game, and the linesman just passed along the message, or a little bit more, tough to say.
Tiger McDonald, meanwhile, headed to the North York zone, and that was a clear hold as he chipped it around the defenseman, and it's going to be called interference, but regardless, a 2-minute power play coming up here for the Panthers. The speed and power of Tiger McDonald, his acceleration too much for the defense there for North York.
Also, Veliki will have a second target to go out in the box there, and for Pickering, the 18th ranked power play in the OJHL is going to go to work, converting at just over 14% on the season. They'll face a pretty good penalty kill at the North York Rangers. Just under 82% on the year. That's good for 8th in the league.
The power play of the Panthers has declined steadily throughout the season. Now just about 5th last. Tiger McDonald tries to get it deep here. Can't, but held in the line by Walker Hinsenberg. And the Panthers get set up here. Hinsenberg spins off a check, is over to Chalice. He steps into the circle, blocker save, bounces free to the far point, and the shot is wide by Hinsenbergs. Chalice again. Shoots it down low to Clark. He rings it back around the boards to Hudgen. Holds it in at the far point, walks along the line. Trying to avoid the swinging stick of Ryan Hunt. He goes down low to the far corner. There's McDonald. Gives it back to Hudgen at the half boards. He's poke-checked briefly there by Tessier. Gets it back. McDonald walks into the corner. Stop the rebound. They score. Robert Clark waiting in front of the goal, and he buries a rebound after nearly having one 5 minutes ago that crawled across the goal line.
Well, a couple milestones here on the penultimate game of the season, Alex, for Robert Clark. He hits 10 goals on the year, and for John Hudgen, we mentioned earlier, that's his 40th point now, as he should get the second assist on that goal.
Veliki released from the penalty box, so those were just minors.
Keep an eye on him next time he's on the ice.
We're past the halfway point of period number 2, and they have their first goal. Scarelli plays it ahead to Daniel Lowe. Tries to dish off to Davis Kuksis. Doesn't work. Caught up in the skates of the Rangers' defense. Dane skated out to center, no farther. Lowe jams it ahead to Scarelli. He can't skate onto it. And now turning is Tyler Curry. Curry across the red line. He dumps it deep. Curry won a couple OJHL championships with the Toronto Lakeshore. Well, they were known as the Toronto Lakeshore Patriots. Then one season with the Toronto Patriots, as they became known, before being traded here to North York this season on October the 21st. Part of a mass exodus from the Patriots organization that went through an ownership change. After 2 very successful seasons, they will miss the playoffs this year in the Southwest. Dump in here is grabbed behind the net by Mitch Waldron. Wins it free with his skate. Heads up across the blue line. Away through center ice. Waldron winds and fires and stops. Blocker save by Baguetta as he came up to the top of his blue paint. Tipped up into netting.
Boy, board expression from Blue Jays spring training, and have a rip out there. You saw that puck bounce off the blocker. If the roof wasn't on this place, that puck would still be going, Alex. Just a cannon across the blue line.
North York straight off the faceoff from their own end. Rush here by Gottschalk, and he tried to get it on the short side, but it was stolen by Dallas Carter. Carter away through the line, has it bounce off a skate. Sekelic plays it back in for North York. Centering pass for Gottschalk doesn't work, and Sekelic gets it back behind the net. He spins to the top of the circle and shoots. It's blocked, rolls back to the point. There's Mitch Waldron for the Panthers trying to win it in the corner. Centering pass picked up by Kyle Gentles. Azano bounces it to the blue line. Tried to get to Andrew Hughes. And now it's dumped into the zone as North York goes for a line change. Gentles stretch pass out to center for Azano. He got a piece of it, no icing. Panthers get wholesale line changes in here as North York begins a rush. Blasby drops for Hunt. He skates onto it, pushes it back to the blue line. Robert Clark checks his man and bounces it out to the red line. Here's Tiger McDonald. Can't enter into North York territory. And away comes Tessier. Hesse, a former Markham Royal this season.